So think about this. In a world where AI is getting better and better at execution every single day, what's a leader's most important job, really? Today we're going to explore a really powerful idea, that a leader's whole value is shifting. It's not about having all the answers anymore. It's about protecting and nurturing the one thing that is still uniquely human, creativity.
The source material for this whole idea starts with this line, and wow, it's so personal. It's a feeling I think a lot of us can relate to, right? That constant hum of pressure, of acceleration, until you feel like something vital inside you just cracks. It's that feeling of your inner flame starting to flicker.
And here is the absolute core of the argument. That feeling of burnout, it isn't a personal feeling. It's not on you. It's a systemic problem. And more, it's becoming a direct leadership issue. Protecting that inner flame in your team, well, that's not a soft skill anymore. It is absolutely essential for survival.
Okay, so what's really causing this creative burnout? What are these forces in our modern work lives that are just actively snuffing out our creative spark? Let's break down the three big ones.
First, there's this thing the source calls permanent acceleration. Just think about it. Everything is real time. Dashboards, notifications, decisions that have to be made now. This relentless demand for speed, it just squeezes out all the quiet moments. Those moments where new ideas can actually bump into each other and mature. We're always running, with literally no time to just think.
And what about AI? The biggest danger isn't that it's going to give us the wrong answers. The real risk is actually way more subtle. It's that AI provides such easy, clean, plausible solutions that we stop doing the hard work of thinking differently. Our brains kind of get lazy, and we all start to drift towards the same standardized way of thinking.
And finally, the big one, the constant, crushing pressure to perform. In a world that is so driven by targets and KPIs, real creativity, well, it feels like a massive risk. It's messy, it's slow, and you have no idea what the outcome will be. So, what do? We choose the safe, predictable path instead.
So you combine these three pressures, the speed, the lazy thinking, the performance anxiety, and what do you end up with? You get teams that are incredibly efficient, for sure. They hit their targets, they execute flawlessly, but they become less alive. That spark, that vitality, that magic of seeing things in a new way, it just starts to fade.
So how in the world do we fight back? Well, it takes a fundamental shift in how we think. We need to completely reframe what creativity is, and maybe more importantly, what a leader's role is in nurturing it. Let's dive into this new mindset.
The shift is right here, plain as day. Creativity is no longer some nice-to-have bonus or a luxury for the creative types. It's not about a once-a-year offsite anymore. It is now a core strategic asset. It's a fragile resource that needs to be protected. And yes, it is a direct responsibility of leadership.
We also need to get a new definition for creativity. This isn't about some lone genius having a eureka moment. It's more of a collective capability. It's the capacity to look at a situation where everything seems fixed, where all the doors are closed, and find a way to open up new possibilities.
And this brings us to the central metaphor. The old model of leadership was the controller, the person at the top with all the ideas directing the team like chess pieces. The new model is the gardener, the person who doesn't have all the ideas, but who focuses on creating the perfect conditions, the right soil for great ideas to emerge from the team itself. So what does being a gardener actually look like in practice? Well, it means creating these safe zones where answers aren't immediately demanded. It means making it totally okay to share half-baked thoughts. It's about tolerating ambiguity, accepting that the first idea is rarely perfect. And yeah, sometimes it means intentionally, deliberately slowing things down.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually do it? Let's get super practical with 5 concrete leadership moves you can start using pretty much today.
First up is what we're calling the no-answer slot. This is a specific, dedicated time designed purely to protect exploration from getting crushed by the demand for immediate solutions. Here's how simple it is. Once a week, you block out 15 to 30 minutes in the calendar. The only rules are, nobody is expected to provide a solution, and only questions are allowed. That's it. The whole goal is just to explore a topic without any pressure to decide a single thing.
Okay, next up, move number 2, the wrong first idea. This one is so clever. It's all about making it safe to be imperfect, which, funnily enough, unlocks way better thinking later on. So you literally kick off a meeting by asking this. By explicitly asking for the wrong idea, you give everyone in the room permission to think freely without that fear of looking stupid. It's an absolutely fantastic way to get a real conversation started.
This next move is a direct act of rebellion against that culture of permanent acceleration we were just talking about. It's all about being really intentional with your team's time and attention.
So here's your task. Once a month, just pick one decision that feels urgent and deliberately slow it down. Give it an extra day. Ask a few more questions. This teaches a critical lesson. Not everything needs to be done at lightning speed. Sometimes, slowness is the most strategic move you can make.
Remember the danger of AI making us lazy. This move flips that whole idea on its head. It reframes AI from a solution machine into a tool for productive friction.
So instead of asking AI for the right answer, ask it to be your sparring partner. What if you prompted it to challenge your team's most basic assumptions, or to generate completely different ways of framing a problem? You can even ask it to propose perspectives you know you'll dislike. Use it to expand your thinking, not to shut it down.
And finally, we come full circle, back to the most human move of them all. This is about being a true gardener, about recognizing when someone on your team is starting to burn out and actually stepping in to protect them.
When you see that inner flame starting to fade in someone, your job as the gardener is to tend to the soil. You reduce their scope so they can focus. You actively remove all the organizational noise from their plate. And you explicitly give them permission to spend time just exploring, with no strings attached. Sometimes the most important thing a leader can do is simply not let that flame go out. So I'll leave you with this question to carry with you as you go about your week. Just think about it. Where do you feel that vital creative spark being slowly worn away? Is it in yourself, or is it in the people you lead? Because answering that question honestly, that's the first real step to becoming a gardener.